Step 1, commit. And no, I'm not talking about a modern day marriage level commitment. I'm talking about a no going back, all in commitment. This is a very, very huge decision. And by huge, I mean you're literally leaving your entire life behind. That includes family, friends, and other loved ones. If you're having trouble deciding if you want to do this, I have a video that I will link in the description on what are the pros and cons of living here. This is something that you cannot ride the fence on, because if you do, you're going to keep telling yourself that, oh, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it next month. You'll keep putting it off farther and farther, and you're never going to actually go, okay? It's not going to happen. I know many people who keep giving me BS excuses on how they want to come to Japan, but something always comes up. Oh, my finances, they're not right. Or, oh, my friends, I'm waiting on them. Well, you know what? It's never going to be right. You have to just go. Life is going to get in the way and distract you, whether it's physically, mentally, or financially. It happens to everybody. No one's safe from it, okay? So the only thing that you can do is commit. Tell yourself every day that no matter what happens, I am going to Japan. And now the next step, once you've fully committed, is to decide which route you're going to take. Now there are 3 main long-term routes that'll get you into Japan. The first one is going to be to work in Japan. The second one will be to study abroad. And the third will be a spouse visa, marrying a Japanese person. Now, of course, there are other routes into Japan, such as having Japanese blood, for example, but unless you were born with it, you can't really get in. You cannot just go to a blood bank and just take a bag when no one's looking that's labeled Tanaka and then use that to get in. It doesn't work. I've tried. Now let's take a look at the actual routes, shall we? And the first one I'm going to be talking about is studying abroad. Now there are a ton of options to study abroad in Japan, especially if you are currently a student at a university or college. Now, many universities and colleges back in America and other countries have sister universities that are in Japan. You can use these for a very, very easy way into the country for 1 to 2 years. I like this route because it's the best way to go out and socialize with Japanese people, especially ones near your age group, again, if you are below 30 or so. Now, if you're looking for an option that's cheaper than studying abroad via a university, you can go to a language school. Now, a language school is basically as mentioned. You're not going to be taking math, sciences, history classes. You're going to be focusing strictly on Japanese language. And you are able to reduce the cost of tuition significantly by doing that. Now, the downside is most of those are not accredited, but they do offer visa sponsorships. Now, one of the ones that I like personally and I recommend is going to be KCP International in Shinjuku, Tokyo. While I've personally never have attended, I've been to the school multiple times. I've had a chance to partake in the classes, and I have many friends who are students or were students there, and their Japanese levels accelerated so fast, so much faster than mine. But wait, what if you want to make money while actually living in Japan? What if you plan on being here long term and you want to actually have a life here? Well, you're going to have a job. And when it comes to getting a job, one of the most important things to have is the bachelor's degree. Now, it doesn't matter what the bachelor's degree is in. You can pretty much get a bachelor's degree in anything. As long as you're a native speaker, you can get a job teaching English. However, if your country just so happens to qualify, you are able to get a worker holiday visa, and you're able to come and work in Japan for roughly around a year or so, and you don't have to get a bachelor's degree in order to do it. Now, me being an American, we don't qualify, unfortunately, but other countries such as Denmark and Australia do. So if your country happens to be any of the ones that I have currently written on the screen, congratulations, as you qualify for a holiday visa. Now, since the most common job for a foreigner in Japan is teaching English, I'm going to be focusing on that part. Now, whether you're going the bachelor's degree route or the work holiday visa route, you're going to have 2 primary choices for working if you're going to be teaching English. The first option is going to be either a primary school, so elementary, junior high school, or high school, or you can go for an eikaiwa, which is basically a cram school focusing primarily on English. Now, while both of them are great options, there are some very, very big differences between the two. And I'm going to be making a video very soon on the differences between these two so you can decide which would be better suited for your lifestyle. So please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can see it the second it goes live. Teaching English in Japan is one of the most highly competitive fields in the country, and you're going to need every single advantage you can get in order to actually land that position, get the visa, and move down here. Now you're in luck, because I'm actually currently in the process of making a very in-depth series on how to pass the interview, both online interview or in person, pass the phone interviews, dress code in Japan, and a bunch of other things that you need to know prior to coming here. So to make sure that you are there to see it, you have to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell, all right? I cannot stress that enough, because the information that I'm going to be showing you can make or break whether or not you get that job in Japan. And now on to the final step for this video, and that's going to be to start saving your money. Now this is going to be very difficult for the people who didn't follow step 1. You're going to have to save for a plane ticket to Japan. And the good news is many companies will reimburse you. However, it's going to take a little bit of time for that money to come back to you. And in the case for me, it was an actual year. I personally recommend bringing more than $3,000 to Japan. And that's after the plane ticket purchase. Because you're going to be losing more than $1,000 in your first week from getting your new phone, setting up your new apartment, getting all the furniture. Now between the housing costs, a new phone, furniture, and not to mention food, you're going to be losing more than $1,000 in your first week. I guarantee it. Your money is going to go by so fast, and it's going to feel like your wallet just got donkey punched. You're going to check your bank account thinking you only spent a few $100s and realize, holy cow, most of my savings is already gone. So when that first paycheck comes in, and it's the only paycheck you're going to get for the entire month, and it's roughly going to be half of what you're actually going to be getting paid for the rest of the months, you're going to be struggling. Unless you actually saved up around $3,000 or so to give you plenty of cushion for you to adapt to life in here. You really need to make sure that you have enough savings to last you at least 2 months. Now, to prevent this video from getting too long, I'm going to stop it here. However, I'm going to be expanding upon this video in the near future, so keep your eyes out. In the meantime though, let me know in the comments, what do you want to see? What questions you have about moving to Japan, getting a visa, etc., and I will do my best to follow up on it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the first video in this series about making your dreams of coming to Japan a reality. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in step 2. Take care.